questions for anybody else? Councilwoman Pandora? You're good? Okay. Go ahead, Madam Vice Mayor. Do we have questions of them?
No questions for you, Danko. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, let me say this. When I woke up this morning, I believe we still live in a democracy. And I say that to say that I've never seen a project with such overwhelming opposition by our residents. And remember, we report to our residents. So number one, it seems to me that the community has spoken very clearly about concerns for this project and flat out opposition. So that has my attention, because you're the folks who pay the bills for everybody sitting up here, for every light that's on in this building, for every salary that's paid on this dais, you pay that. So I'm listening, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned with the state of the factual record that this city council is voting on this evening. For instance, let me be clear about who will be eligible to reside at Vista Ridge, because in my opinion, the city has not been clear about this, and it's frustrating, and I don't understand that. Tell the people who these residents will be or who is eligible. And I've gotten resistance from the city, so let me clear the record for you right here and right now. Seriously mentally ill individuals will be eligible to stay at Vista Ridge. Individuals addicted to drugs will be eligible to stay at Vista Ridge. Sex offenders, level 1 and level 2, will be eligible to stay at Vista Ridge. That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And why is it that the city has been so resistant to just telling you the truth? Let's vote on the truth tonight. In fact, if you look at this, this is just from tonight. Who will be referred to Vista Ridge? Basically veterans. Really? I just told you, I just said who will be eligible to stay at Vista Ridge. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But so if that's the truth, then why not? We're all adults here, and we're all have passion and we're care and all that stuff, but we have to get to the truth. And that is my concern. Is this record factually developed to where we'll be voting on the truth tonight? I don't know why the city wouldn't make that very clear at the inception of this project. Tell us this.
Good point.
Yeah. Have you, excuse me, this information did not come to, what I just told you, that didn't come from the city. That came from my own independent research and residents like you who are reaching out. I mean, I can't believe how many of you have done your research on this project and sent me information. That's your work. Why wasn't this before the city council? I think that we may have had a very different conversation had we been given this information in January of 2025. Oh, and a note on veterans, which seems to be we're going to be housing veterans. Now it's up to, I think, 10 veterans tonight. Let me tell you something. I'm looking at the Department of Housing and Community Development, State of California, okay, at the Notice of Notice of Funding Availability, the NOFA. This is where the 21.5 million comes from. Okay? This is a State of California, this is off the State of California's website. This document says, number of assisted units reserved for veterans. Guess how many? Zero. Wow.
That's not good. This is what we've been looking for all along. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Now, I'm not making this up. Lord have mercy. I'm not making this up. So this says zero reserved for veterans. Why is that?
Why is that?
Has the city council ever been shown this document? Not to my recollection. I had a resident send me this, and my eyes bounced out of my head. And so I went on the State of California's website to confirm it. That's not right, ladies and gentlemen.
Not right.
Why wasn't this brought to our attention? What are we doing here?
Well, that's why we're here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I continue to say, I believe that this factual record is incomplete, non-transparent, and inaccurate at best. How can we vote on this tonight? But you know what? You know what? What this is, and I don't get emotional. Please don't get emotional, Pam. This makes me sad.
It does. Makes us sad.
This makes me sad because I've been on this city council for about 14 years, and never in the history of my tenure on this council have I seen this kind of behavior out of the city. I don't know what's going on, but I know the whole truth is not going on. That's what I do know, and I hate to, that makes me want to cry. Because at the end of the day, we're all we got.
Yeah, that's true.
We have to stick together. We have to tell the truth, just like in your families. Sometimes you have to just say the hard thing. You know, but we have to live together. So I'm very uncomfortable with the record that is before the city. This NOFA, this Notice of Funding Availability, says that the operating award is how much? Zero. Why didn't we apply for an operating fund? Because we're eligible to do that. And that pays up to $1,400 a month per unit, per door. So that's money in the bank, right?
Yeah.
$1,400 per unit for as long as this facility is going, I guess. But I'm saying we didn't even apply for that. Why not? Was that ever brought to the city council? The answer is no. I didn't know that until I saw this. I'm seldom speechless, thank you. And I hope my kids are looking because they'll be like, I can't believe she's not talking. But I'm speechless. I don't understand it. If we accept this funding tonight, that obligates this city to operate this facility as a permanent, supportive housing unit for 55 years. But it's 55 years, but we're supposedly going to have a 20-year contract for HUD funding through the, hold on, I got it high, I'm so upset right now. Anyway, the Housing Assistance program, HAP, through HUD, okay, so we applied for zero funding for operations. We're on the hook to do this for 55 years, folks, but we didn't apply for funding, for operating fund. We got the capital money that's going to the capital people, but the people who are gonna have to pay for the operating expenses, we didn't even just think, why not just apply for it and get the money? We didn't do that. So we're relying on HUD. Let me ask you this. The HAP agreement, the Housing Assistance Payments Agreement, that are gonna provide this 20-year amount of HUD vouchers, where is that tonight? Is that before the city council?
That can't,
Yes or no?
it's not tonight, no.
Wow. So wait a minute. So wait a minute. So we're voting
So,
to.
if I can
No, you
complete-
cannot.
Oh, okay.
So we're voting to, I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to get my point across.
No,
Let me-
you approved that in March.
But the HAP agreement,
The vouchers for this project,
Yeah.
you approved in March.
so we have the vouchers, because at the last town hall meeting, the question that I put to you, David, was, number one, we don't have, the vouchers aren't in the bank, like, we don't have that.
We do have the vouchers.
Okay, for 20 years.
Yes, we have a contract. So the way that the program works is that HUD gives you gives every housing authority a set number of vouchers. So we have X number of vouchers that we get to use.
Right,
And
so
we allocate
Understood.
some of those vouchers for this. So yes, they
So-
will be allocated for the full 20-year term
But
of
my
the
question
contract.
at the town hall meeting, to which we didn't get an answer, was, in the current state of things, I'm sure we all are aware of the political environment that we're living in now in America. So if the HUD vouchers go away, if they go away, if the president says, boom, they're gone, whatever. If the funding goes away, my question was, we didn't apply for an operating fund. If the vouchers go away, are the residents of this city gonna be stuck with the bill for footing the operating fund for 55 years? That was my question.
So, excuse me, so Danco is the owner of the project. So should there be an issue where we weren't able to subsidize the remaining portion of the 20-year contract, Danco, as the owner and property owner of this project, would then have a plan in place to ensure that they're able to cover the remaining operating cost of their project.
Let me ask it another way. Let me ask it another way. Is it possible that the residents of this city will be stuck footing the bill for an operating expenses that are not covered by HUD?
That is not part of this agreement at all.
That wasn't my question, though. My question was, is it possible that the city of Fairfield residents will be left holding the bag for operating funds that are not covered by HUD? That, in the event that that happens, it could happen. I mean, because I'm asking these questions because anybody who's ever bought a piece of property in your life, come on, you know, I mean, the bank requires this stuff, right? You got to be able to pay your bills. So my question is, seriously, is it possible that these residents, and including me and everybody, can be left holding the bag on operating expenses that are not covered by HUD?
It is not anticipated that the city will have to.
Not my question.
But Danco as the,
Please,
My question.
Danco as the property,
and the vice mayor speak.
So the city is not an owner of this project. So if there is any deficit on the operating costs, it will be the responsibility of Danco. The city will not be on the hook for the operating costs for this project.
You want to, David Gasway, do you want to weigh in? So you're saying right here, right now, on the record that there's no way these residents are going to be stuck paying the operating expenses for 55 years? Or for however long HUD may not cover it? It's a very simple question.
So, I'm gonna,
Please
Yeah.
let the vice mayor
Go
and
ahead,
staff
David.
speak.
so in terms of the standard agreement, and I'll look to Latanya, or we also have Latan online for the specifics within the standard agreement in terms of the city's obligations. I'm going to go back a couple of questions, though, that you've asked to try to provide some context. So the question, no, hold on, hold on.
No, it's my turn to ask questions, and I want my question answered.
And one of
my
your
que- and-
questions was, why did we not say, or why did we not apply for funding for operations from HCD?
And
The
if you
reason
can-
is because you get
let's
more
no,
points in
David.
the application
No,
for
sir.
capital if you
I'm
don't ask for
asking-
operating.
I'm asking you this.
And I'm trying to answer your question,
Okay, but
Madam Vice Mayor.
Can I ask the question that I want to ask now? Okay, so let me just ask the question I want to ask now. And that is simply, is it possible for these residents and us, for the residents to be left holding the bag for operating expenses if HUD doesn't come through? Is that a possibility? That's a simple yes or no question. Yes or no? Is it possible?
I mean,
Wait, no, please. Yes, it is.
no. So
It is not possible. Okay.
you're gonna, you have a HAP.
Hep- Please.
If we want information, I mean, one of the challenges I've had on this project is that questions get asked, they're not simplistically yes and no answers often, right? And so we try to give you the technical answers, and then that is essentially thrown out as though, well, why aren't we getting the answers? So right now, you have a HAP, an AHAP, where you have committed in an agreement with HUD to provide project-based vouchers under our Section 8 program. The Section 8 program, I think, as a part of the question is being asked, is politically, could that go away? Absolutely. I can't, if I could predict the future, I'd probably be in a different business, right? So could that go away? Yes. As of right now, what is essentially proposed under the Trump administration's budget is an elimination of rental assistance programs under HUD. And that program, total program, Section 8's a part of it, tenant-based rental assistance is a part of it. Overall, that is around $36 billion that's identified. For the next fiscal year, federal fiscal year, that money is identified as zero. In its place is a new state benefit, a rental assistance program, which is, as we know, and as Latanya spoke to earlier, HUD has not had any communication with us on any of those plans. Under the continuing resolution that Congress just passed, there is a continuation of all of the HUD programs related to Section 8 and rental assistance. So where Congress goes come January, February, March, more continuing resolutions, I really can't, I'm not in a position to speak to that. If the program goes away, as of right now, it appears as though what the plan is to convert it to a state block grant program to provide the rental assistance monies, the same $36 billion, to states to then funnel that money down. I think it's highly likely, given the posture of the state of California and the efforts of HCD and the funding, that those monies are going to flow through to all of our Section 8 voucher holders. Because while the Section 8 program, we're talking about it in the context of Vista Ridge, the reality is we have, what, 900 vouchers throughout the community, somewhere in?
Slightly less than
Yeah,
that.
slightly less than that. So there could be changes to the program, but that contract on those project-based vouchers would still be valid. If, beyond that, if, let's say it just goes away, then we can go back to the state in those categories where we didn't apply for the money for operating subsidies because we got more points in the application process for the capital funding to actually deliver the project, that's why we did not apply for any of those monies. We can go back to the state of California and apply for those operating subsidy monies at that time.
So, okay, and thank you for that answer. So your answer, Mr. City Manager, is no, these residents, it is not possible for these residents to be left holding the bag if the HUD funding goes away and if we go back to the state of California and there is no operating expense money anymore, then what? I'm just playing out all scenarios despite the huffing and puffing that's going on up here on the dais. I'm just asking. I mean, and I'm not, this is not a trick bag question. I'm trying to understand this because I'm just saying, listen, if HUD goes away, we go back, we apply for the expenses, and they're no more, you're saying still the residents aren't left holding the bag.
At that point in time, we would probably also, all of that happens, right?
Yeah.
All money dries up. All federal and state money for operating these types of projects dries up. Then at that point in time, we would probably go to HCD and look for some form of waiver on the deed restriction for the 55-year affordability for the program.
And then we would want to turn back to 55 years. Because there, I just looked at a website where this funding is under attack for these kinds of home key first projects that are not recovery based. They're under attack in the state of California. This is not, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a recovery based program. This program allows its residents to continue using alcohol and drugs and does not require their participation in the service offerings. So even if the services are there, they can say, screw the services, I don't want the services, leave me alone. I mean, so this housing first model is under fire in the state of California. And, you know, people are demanding more recovery-based programs. Why weren't we introduced to the option of a recovery-based program? I mean, and when we're talking about, you know, when we started talking about this in January, why wasn't this an option for us? Let's talk about it. Let's meet about it. Let's dig into it. Let's see what works. We weren't given that opportunity. And oh, did I find out about this in a city packet or something? No, I did not. Here's another anyway, I don't digress. I'm just. Thank you for bringing this.
Madam Vice Mayor, just one clarification. Was that a question for me and staff? Because
it was rhetorical.
It was rhetorical.
We all know
Perfect.
the answer to that question is no. So.
Well, if the article that you were just handed was the Cal Matters article that was talking about recovery-based housing, the reason we didn't present you that option in January is because in January that option did not exist. This is a rapidly shifting environment, which we admit. So.
All right,
Okay.
Let staff speak, please.
And recovery-based housing was not born this year. I mean, come on. So anyway, all right, those are my questions for now. I don't support this project because I don't. I don't like the way it's been presented to this council and to this city. Danco made promises that they didn't keep in terms of community engagement, and they just stood up here, oh yeah, we'll have monthly meetings, and okay. You know, so I don't like the way this information was presented. I think we need to be a lot more transparent. I've looked at our website, the city's website. There's a video up one day with a video extolling the virtues of Vista Ridge, and then the next day it's gone. Wait a minute, what? So I don't like it because of a lot of reasons, but the main thing is that I don't think that the record is factually developed sufficiently to vote intelligibly on this evening. I don't think so. So.
Are you finished, Madam Vice Mayor, for now?
For now.
All right. Councilman Sandu, do you have questions or comments?
Yeah, I had a couple of questions, Madam Mayor. Thank you. One was, I think this might be a question geared towards staff. Is there a requirement for folks to utilize the treatment that's provided on site? No. As a prerequisite to reside in this project?
I heard the first part of your question. I didn't hear the remainder, but to the first part of your question, we can't require the residents to use the supportive services, but they all will have access to them.
In your experience in other projects like these, to what rate are these utilized?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you.
Are the services usually utilized?
In what way they're utilized? So,
Percentage of
at
people
what rate? I don't have that information, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, a representative from Kaminar is online. He would be able to provide that information because we do have another project, the Fairhaven project, that is also very similar to this one. If he's online, he would be able to answer that question specifically.
Okay.
Is Dre online? DeAndre Richards?
I'll jump in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Hello?
So that's Latan, our Housing Services Director, is jumping in.
Okay. So for the Fairhaven project, this question actually came up in a meeting. I believe they said that there was probably maybe 2 or 3 residents that were not participating in the programs. So the majority of the residents have actually participated in the program, even though they're not necessarily required. And over time, the case managers build relationships with the residents, so the residents develop more trust with the case managers, and so there's more engagement in the projects than not.
I see. Thank you.
Do you have other questions, Councilman?
One more. Regarding the on-site security, in the first year of the project, how many people would that be providing that?
I believe Danko said that they would have 2 on-site security.
Was that 24/7? All
Yes.
day, just in the evening?
Yes.
All day?
They would have 3, I believe they stated in there here, I believe they stated they would have 3 shifts for on-site security during that 24-hour period.
Got it. Thank you. I think that's it, Madam Mayor, for the time being.
All right. Thank you. So I'm going to speak here. The first thing that I want to do is thank the hundreds of Fairfield residents and business owners who've come out over the months to express themselves over this very controversial project. We all recognize that homelessness is a serious issue affecting us, residents, businesses, and the city budget in a big way, millions. We may have different ideas on what works to reduce homelessness, but it's a priority. And one thing that, and I don't get offended very easily at all, but one thing that offends me is the people who support this project, who want to point their finger at those who don't and say you don't care about human beings. You're not you are not Christians or Jews, you have no souls. Well, we know better. I've never, ever talked to anybody during these months who ever said that to me. And so that is offensive to me. We know that it is inhumane for people to live on the streets. It's inhumane for them. We have been trying for years. I've been on this council since 2008, and we've been trying for years to help, to get people off the streets. And many flat out refuse. They don't want the help. Now, sometimes that's caused by a mental illness that tells them that they're not sick. And then there are those who have drug-induced mental illness, and or could be dual diagnosed or more. I've had a personal experience working by running a homeless shelter here in Fairfield, and I know very much about people and what works and what doesn't. And what I found was that when you give structure to people, even when they have mental illnesses, and most of the people who came into the shelter self-identified as folks who had mental illness and or drug addiction. So how did we help them? I'll tell you what, we did P-tests. And no, we didn't kick them out when they came up dirty or positive. You work with them. And we did work with a couple of great folks from Kaminar, and that I became very friendly with one especially. Some, it takes a lot longer, and some you get heartbroken. A lot of them, actually. I had a man who was living, he'd been living on the streets here in Fairfield for many years, and he decided that he wanted to try to live indoors, which is another thing that is very difficult for a lot of folks who've lived out on the streets for a long time. So it takes a lot to help these people. And it's 24/7. You cannot let up. I'd be called 2 in the morning and have to go down and meet with these people. This guy, after 3 months of doing very well, he used methamphetamine. That was the drug he used. He's doing very well. And he came in to me, and he was weeping. And I'd had him seeing psychiatrists, which is something that will not be down here, but they will have access to it at Vista Ridge, I mean. They will not have a master social worker down there, but they will have access to one if they want it. Anyway, we had psychiatry, we had it all. And this gentleman said to me, "Miss Catta, I'm sorry. I meant to live and die on the streets." And he left me. I never saw him again, and he did die on the streets of Fairfield. And those things break my heart. So if anybody says, Kat, you oppose this, you don't care for them, I beg to differ. So what I want to say is that I have listened to everybody. And if you live in Fairfield, you're one of my 123,000 bosses. I take that very seriously. Most of you oppose this. How do I know that? Well, because I have counted. I have read the emails that have come in. The businesses in North Texas have lists and lists of people signing at the businesses saying they don't want this. They don't want it. And we should not be chasing businesses away. We could say, oh, should we just you know, they're paying the bills just like you're paying the bills. They're the backbone of our city. We can't, you know, you can't say you're pro-business and then do this. I have listened, but there have been a lot of allegations, and there have been a lot of misinformation, and there's been a lot of hate, and there's been a lot of confusion. So what did I do? I rely on my old skills as a reporter. And for 20 years, that's what I did, and I did investigative work. I read every word of everything that the city gave us. I went further, and I read every word of the laws surrounding this. I read every word of the appraisal on this motel. And the appraiser said it's in good shape. So then something miraculous happened. I think it's a miracle. It used to happen every once in a while when I was reporting. I got a call from a woman, and I call her a whistleblower because that's what she is. And she works inside there. And she said a lot of things, but I want to share that tonight because of that whistleblower. I called the county health department. The county health department went down and shut down the hot tub there because it was polluted. What I did not do, although I knew I needed to, was call city people. And why didn't I do that? Because I didn't want people to say the mayor, and when I say people, I mean people who've opposed me, and I can read your emails, everybody out there who have done things that are naughty. But the bottom line is that somebody else, the whistleblower, told me that yes, she would talk to somebody else if they promised to protect her. She was scared because there's millions of dollars involved. She agreed to talk to city inspectors. The city went in. And I don't know, because I haven't seen any reports yet, because I don't think they're done. But I will tell you that somebody told me, confirmed what this woman had said. And let me just tell you what she said. And let me show you something. She had pictures and videos. This is a picture of a rotting roof, actually, that was dripping down into this. There are 2 floors, and this just happened like in October. Okay, so this has happened. This is recent. This was filled with black stuff. You can see it's a mess. And the owners there told her just throw it over the banister. This came down from, my colleagues want to take a look at it, molded walls in different colors of mold. And this is what came out of it. This is a collapsed ceiling in a laundry room. She sent this. This is not a great picture because I took it off a video. The sewer was overflowing all the way down into North Texas Street. And so I know that inspectors are looking at, the county is still looking at. Why do I bring this up? Because there are other things that she said that you need to know about, the public needs to know. And here's what it is, and it's shocking. And I'll tell you that this has been confirmed. So, 42 rooms out of 100 are not rentable. Nobody can stay in them. Why is that? Because they're dilapidated, because, and our inspectors found this, I know, they were taking parts of stuff from some rooms and trying to fix the other rooms so they could make money on those. So 42 out of 100. And what else was in there? Roaches, flying roaches, bugs in the mattresses, roaches coming out of the pillowcases. And so some of the rooms are so full of bed bugs that they are locked down permanently. But, so here's my question, I don't have an answer for it. How could, when you have 42 rooms out of 100, how can an appraiser come in and say it's good and then appraise it for $12 million, which is exactly what we got the loan for that? This is the kind of stuff that it pisses me off. That's what. And I'm not going to sit and point fingers. I'm just telling you facts. So I went back and I read the appraisal again. Oh yeah, it's in good shape. And I interviewed this whistleblower several times. Do you know that after I talked to her, that whistleblower was fired? Yes, she was. And she has kids because she was brave enough to call me.
She'll get some.
Yeah, she will. We'll pray for her. So because of all of this and because of ongoing investigations that are happening right now as we speak, we should not vote tonight on anything. In fact, I'm going to make a motion to table this vote until all investigations are completed and an independent investigation is done of the process and specifics, so we know everything. And then on top of it, as a gentleman suggested earlier, and we work with our citizens to look for another site away from businesses and closer to county services. As the gentleman said earlier, we can do this as a community together, and he would work with us. I think a lot of the folks here would be motivated to do that, because we do want places to take care of our homeless. We do care. That's my motion.
Mayor Moy, I'm sorry. Can I ask you, because I know this is a very sensitive topic and the vote may be divided, can you restate your motion
Yes.
a little more slowly so that I can record it?
Okay, I'm going to do it slowly.
You said a motion to table, which I got, but then you
Table.
said until investigation.
Until all investigations are completed. That would be the county and city inspectors. And, yes, an appraisal review and an independent investigation of the process. And to work with our citizens and Danco, anybody else, to look for another site away from the business corridor and closer to county services.
You got all that?
And I second that motion.
Madam Mayor, if I may ask a question,
Oh, yes.
do we
Manville,
need to define a time period to table to, or are we tabling indefinitely?
no, not indefinitely. We want it until the investigations are completed. And we have copies of the investigations.
I guess I'm asking for the motion itself, do we need to delineate like 1 month, 2 month, so it's on the record for when it comes back? Or can we leave it open-ended like that?
Madam Mayor, Madam Mayor, point of order.
Yes,
So my job as a city attorney, along with the city clerk, is to capture the motions so that we can properly serve you. I'm having trouble hearing follow-up questions and motions.
okay.
So can I ask the mayor, through the mayor, if you can ask members of the audience that while the motions are being made and while the council is deliberating this, the city clerk and I cannot hear what's going on.
Yeah, so if we could be quiet while we try to get this business done. Councilman Sandu, you were asking about a time restriction on this.
Yeah, just clarifying if we need to make it more specific about when we are tabling to.
Until the investigations are done, and I wouldn't know how long, I don't have the county people here, and, yeah, so I can't say that. But
Got it.
I want it to be swift. I want us to move forward because time is of the essence, but we have to have, the whole council needs to see those facts.
What investigations are you talking about?
And one follow-up, if I may, Mayor. Could you reiterate how the investigation plays into the turnkey project, please?
Yes. So I will tell you that if you read the appraisal, as I did, the appraisal says that the motel is in, quote, good shape. But according to these pictures and according to preliminary investigation and according to this whistleblower, 42 rooms are not usable. In fact, they're not even in their system to rent out. They're so bad. So that's what the problem is. We're spending taxpayers' money, and are we going to give somebody who's been a bad actor, the motel owner, that place should have been ripped down. It's caused this city so much problems, and that's what's going on up there? Well, we need to have, the investigations completed and given to all of us so we all know what the facts are. Because right now, it doesn't look good. It's not good. So that's what it is.
What investigations are you talking about?
I'm talking about the county environmental services is investigating. The city of Fairfield's code enforcement has been inside, and they are doing an investigation.
Can we bring Danco back up?
Please let the council, Dan Kogut, yeah, thank you.
So this is a renovation, or is this an issue for you?
No. Oftentimes, we see motels that have rooms that are not occupiable. We're going to strip down. When the appraisal references good shape, they're talking about structurally, that the building's structurally sound, that there's not dry rot.
Please let him speak.
That there's not a structural issue with the building. We're going to strip all the drywall out, bare it down to bare studs. We're reconfiguring the entire inside of the building. We will mitigate any mold, any water intrusion areas, new windows, new heating, roof repairs. I mean, this is a major renovation.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Council, do you mind if I ask him just a follow-up quick? Okay, thank you. I wanted, did you guys hire the appraiser?
Did we? Yeah.
You
we
did?
Yeah.
And did you use him? please. And do you use them for other facilities that you've done?
We do use a variety of different appraisers.
Okay.
We typically put it out to bid, and whoever gives us the bid, but these are licensed
Oh, sure.
appraisers.
Yeah, I saw that. I did a background on them.
But yeah, we do hire them.
No, I would not hire them after them saying that it's in good shape, because structurally it isn't. My husband is a roofing contractor, and that roof is not in any kind of good shape. Now, you guys are going to come and fix it. This doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with what you're going to do, but it does have something to do with $12 million to a motel that half of it is dilapidated. Do you think that that's fair?
I mean, you know, the numbers these days, the motels are expensive, and we paid more than that for a 100-unit motel, a lot more, so.
All right, and wait, Councilwoman Williams has a question?
So, Mayor, you touched on it. So, did you overpay for this motel?
No, not in our opinion, no.
And why do you say so?
Well, based on comparables from other motels that have been selling and other conversions that we've done, we've paid more per unit for other hotels than we have for this hotel with equal amount of work.
Yeah, so Mayor, when you first brought this up, my thought was, this better be a deal. Because, as you know, I would think with a real estate mindset, you see something with all these issues, you better get it for a steal.
Yeah, that's part of the challenge, is to buy these right so that you have enough money, because the Home Key program caps the amount of money per unit that they offer for renovation. So if you pay too much for the acquisition, then you don't have enough to finish the renovation. So in this case, we have an adequate budget because the acquisition was priced right. So we're not questioning the appraiser. I mean, you can do another appraisal, but we're not questioning it.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're good questions. So, you can sit down.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming back. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Madam Clerk, we're going to go ahead and do a roll call vote, please.
Okay.
Just to confirm, this is a motion to table. So a yes vote means you're voting to postpone and table until all the conditions are met as recited by the mayor. A no vote means you're not moving to table, and then the issue is still out there for deliberation and/or another motion.
Okay, Councilmember Carr?
No.
Councilmember Panduro?
No.
Councilmember Santu?
No.
Councilmember Tonneson?
No.
Councilmember Williams?
No.
Vice Mayor Bertani?
Yes.
And Mayor Moy.
Of course.
So motion does not carry 2 to 5.
Right. So I'll entertain another motion from whoever to whatever you guys want to do.
I'll entertain the motion to move the project forward.
And just to be clear, Councilmember Carr, this would be a motion to approve Resolution 2025-232, the agreements for Vista Ridge Motel conversion?
That is correct.
Okay.
And do I have a second for that?
Okay, wait. We got to get our business done.
You have my second.
A second? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Okay. Cool. Okay, Councilmember Carr?
Yes.
Councilmember Panduro?
Yes.
Councilmember Santu?
No.
Councilmember Tonneson?
Yes.
Councilmember Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bertani?
Absolutely not.
And Mayor Moy.
No.
Okay, so that was 3 to 4?
4-3.
Vote.
4-3.
Sorry, 4-3.
4-3, it passes.
And that passes. So, anything else? No? Okay, so that's it. And that's the end of the meeting. So thank you all very, very much for hanging in there. Thank you. No.